Huh. It's surprisingly hard to find actual townspeople around here. It's surprisingly empty.
At your service, your worship. I saw the Inquisition's banners from afar. Never expected to see the Herald of Andraste himself.
Ah, Sir Michel, of course. I didn't recognize you, dressed as you are.
Lady Vivienne?
Are you here to guard the people?
As much as I can, although this was not my original intention. I hunt a demon. This one calls itself Imshale, and has settled in Suladin Keep, up in the hills. Imshale is free because I made a mistake. I will see him destroyed. Now that the Inquisition is here, perhaps the Red Templars who guard the keep can be routed. All I need is one chance.
One opportunity. You only get one shot. Sorry.
I need to know more about Imshale.
A desire demon, more cunning than anything I have encountered. And I have played the game. Imshale has roamed the land for some time. If anything, he will have grown in power. Why he is here in Emprise de Lyon, however, is anyone's guess. Perhaps he has gained the cooperation of the Red Templars, or vice versa.
What's in Suladin Keep?
Red Templars, so far as I can tell. Suladin is an elven fortress, left to crumble. The locals always avoided it, believing it the haunt of ancient elven spirits.
You know where the demon is? Why wait?
I am but one man. Suladin Keep is guarded by Red Templars. While I would happily give my life for this, I would not give it in vain.
You aren't a simple Orlesian soldier, are you?
No. I was once Empress Celine's champion, but I am now disgraced. The Empress wants nothing to do with me, and I cannot blame her. Despite all, I have a strong arm, a stout heart, and I still serve Ole.
You could serve the Inquisition. We have use for strong arms and stout hearts.
Well, that just started happening, I guess. Awkward. We just randomly get attacked by people. I guess he... It might be hard to recruit him for the job if he's in the middle of being attacked. I'm guessing that he's going to be like, if you want me to join the Inquisition, you need to save these people need to be safe first. And it's probably going to be like when I had to make the Dalish like me, but instead of making them like me, I need to wipe out the threats, such as the entire wolf population, for example. Come get me, bro. I'm invincible. You can't get me. Please go down. There we go.
Say goodnight!
Well, that was a little comical.
I heard about...
No sign of trouble at the moment.
Well, I think he was about to talk to me about joining me, but now I can't even read it. Mama's ring. An elderly woman left an heirloom ring behind when she was forced out of her home by the Red Templars. Find Mama's ring. So that's awkward. He was clearly I'm pretty sure he is about to try to continue the conversation exactly where we left off, as if the whole fight hadn't happened. But then I was already in the process of trying to initiate dialogue with him, so it just kind of cut it off, and now I don't know what he said. You guys actually kind of know, because you can pause it and read that one line of dialogue, but there's probably more follow-up too. But oh well, you have to chalk that up to being an awkward little moment. Can I talk to you?
Oh, Maker, why have you allowed this to happen? Now my sweet Louis dead. Maker, why?
They're not really interested in talking to me in one-on-one, which is surprising because they want to talk to the Maker so bad. People think that I'm the
Come, lad. I have dried beans and radishes. It's not much, but with last week's salt pork, it makes a meal.
Thank you, madame.
Ah, the Inquisition.
That was generous of you.
I do what I can. I am partly to blame for all this. The Red Templars are here because, fool that I am, I sold them my family's quarry. They've taken every worker. We haven't seen them in weeks. And it's not enough. They keep coming, taking more people. And there's nothing I can do to stop them.
How could you have sold land to the Red Templars?
I didn't know. I swear by Andraste's buyer, they look like knights, chevaliers. Such pretty speeches. They said they would reopen the quarry, bring employment and trade back to Sahrnia. We'd been struggling since the war began. How could I refuse? It was good for a time. People went to work, they were paid. Then they stopped coming home. After that, the Red Templars stopped pretending.
What do you mean the Red Templars take workers?
People just disappear. First those who worked the quarry, then they took people from their homes. I don't know why. I just prayed they'd leave me and my family alone.
Well, I'm certainly glad some characters are willing to talk to me, because I was a little worried that I was going to walk in here and then, like, no one would... Like, it was going to be, like, Mass Effect territory when everyone's talking to, like, open space instead of directly to me, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's what I'm doing today. Just a quest I've overheard. Mistress Pauline's records. Records show that Sahrnia's granite quarry has been in financial trouble for at least a year. Anselm says the Duchess of Savraine's household has cancelled their order. The Duchess has decided instead to donate the gold set aside for her new fountain to the Empress's war effort. And Anselm won't send a boat to take the merchandise I prepared for him. He says if he can't sell it, it just takes up space in the warehouse. Maybe another trader will take it off my hands. It's some of the finest quality we've pulled in recent years. No new orders. I can't get rid of the blocks meant for the Duchess. No one wants what we offer. Not while the war rages. I've had to close the quarry. I can't pay the workers. Soon they'll leave for the cities. Sahrnia will die. So my assumption here is that the Red Templars wanted the granite quarry because they probably suspected that there was red lyrium under there. They had probably had a tip-off or some way of detecting it. They're probably drawn to it at this point, and so they intentionally they bought it under the guise of being there to mine. They were pretending that they were there to mine granite, like just normal workers, but then they are in secret. They're actually there to get red lyrium, and you know, spread the murder. Just spread the murder around like a good boy. All right, unfinished business, the finale. Let's go check it out. This will be the last target that Cassandra wants us to take out, which means that we're going to be pretty much out of companion quests now. I'm going to wander down and get Black Walls in a minute, and we're pretty much going to not have any more companion quests as far as I know, although either of those could have a follow-up quest. I'm hoping at least some follow-up dialogue, because those are two of the most time-consuming quests in the entire game.
Sahrnia wasn't prepared for this.
I guess I should have figured that Cassandra would have some sort of flavor text about this area. Most people are probably going to react to the desolation in some way. I'm surprised that there hasn't been an angry rant yet from Sarah, being the people's person. Everyone's fucked here.
A rogue mage.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Look at me. Look at me. These are my look at me buttons. They say look at me. It's kind of like half the job of a warrior, just keep saying look at me in various ways. Alright, success, that guy's down. Turns out this character's fucking scary. I already have a strong weapon, but now I have modifiers that make me stronger. What I really need to do is I can't look at it right now. I'm kind of wasting my oops.
That it came to this, but at least it is done.
Yeah! Quest completed from Cassandra. Now she's happy. Now she can go become the new divine with fewer regrets. So here's something dumb I just accidentally unequipped it. Something dumb I did. Song of the Marshes, bonus damage versus dragons. I mean, bonus damage versus dragons is cool, but I mean, there's only a few dragons in this game. I mean, that means that my 300 DPS is kind of a lie because it only applies to dragons. I'm probably gonna want to swap out that. Actually, no. Never mind. I was thinking, you know what I'll do is I'll probably kill the dragons in this zone. I think there's 3 of them, and then swap it out for the story missions to take place afterwards. But then I remembered that Corypheus has a dragon, so I guess it does. I guess it will be useful for my main character to have a badass dragon rune. It's still a strong weapon even when it's not fighting dragons. It's just way stronger against dragons. What's this locked thing over here? Oh, it's lockpickable. Let's get on that then. There's also looks like there's a quest right over there. I might warp back to town to talk to Cassandra just to see how she reacts to this development, though. Anything cool in here, hopefully? A claw. Oh, there's staircase. Okay. I was worried for a second there that we're gonna go through all that effort. They really shouldn't have made these stairs so steep, because it just incentivizes jumping up and down like a jackass instead of walking around normally. Ooh. That could be cool. I'm gonna save the axe for last because it says remove, as if like something might happen when I do it, as opposed to just pick up. So we'll loot the area first. Whoa, what was that? Sorry, I clicked way too fast. Was that? I think that was an armor. Curse of Morak. Ooh, it's a helm with 28 armor, 6 cunning, 6 dexterity, versus 22. Yeah, cunning and dexterity are both rogue stats. So it's an overall plus 12 useful stats instead of just plus 10, and it has 6 more armor, so I'm going to go for it. Also, I just want Sarah to have a better freaking helmet, because that thing that she was wearing looked really stupid. What does she look like now? Is it going to show up? It only shows up in specific situations. Oh well. Her helmet looked really dumb. Thankfully, I have it turned off most of the time anyway. Barely intelligible scrawl. They say you shouldn't bring home girls you find near Fade Rifts. But they don't know. I saved Colette. She came from a cold, empty place. No one cared about her. Now she's here, and we'll be together forever. She's all I ever wanted. I know she loves me. I feel her love in everything she does to me, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. I've never been happier. Well, I don't really have to spell out demon in this case, do I? Alright. Vasti, you want to touch the axe? Maybe it'll be really cool, or maybe we'll get attacked by a demon. Is it going to be Colette? Rebuke of the Sunderland. Wow, this is a good weapon. 198 AoE damage, 24% critical chance, 8% sunder on hit. Wow. I think that means that every time you hit somebody, they have an 8% reduced armor, and 7.5% extra damage for every enemy nearby. That's some scary shit right there, to be honest. It looks like it has to, I'm pretty sure it's a two-handed, it's a great axe though, so it's a two-handed weapon. So how does that compare to my current weapon? So it has higher, it actually has higher damage before the rune, because my current one only has 171. It does not have the bonus strength or the bonus, it has double the bonus crit. So it is by and large a better weapon, and if you put a cool rune into it, it could be very strong. But you'd have to give up your shield. Someone did suggest the idea that, like, what if I took Vasti and made... First of all, let's oh, that's what it looks like, by the way. That's pretty badass. Someone suggested that I make Vasti, because his defenses are so good, make him a two-handed warrior, a two-handed warrior champion. So, like, he'd have a bunch of offensive attacks, but also have all those crazy tanking skills. I don't think having 8 skill slots really makes it possible to, because since you only have 8 slots, I don't know if it's possible to really split yourself that evenly between 2 different disciplines and have it really work out that well. So I don't know if I'd want to do that. I just like the shield and all, but that might be a fun thing to give it to Iron Bull. Hope maybe the big finale will have a thing. It'd be cool if maybe the big finale will have something like Dragon Age Origins, where you get to play as every single character in little mini parties, because that would be a good use of that. And then I'd have a reason to be equipping that person with stuff. We have a Fade Rift over there, and some Bloodstone that I can't seem to pick up because of the awkward cliff. Oh, I got it. And we have a quarry. Oh no, a logging stand. Alrighty then. Well, since we're approaching it, and there's just clearly a rift right out here, I might as well just go after it before I leave, but then I think I'm gonna warp back into town afterwards though, and talk to Cassandra. The hunt. Day 1. Tracked her to the edge of High Grove. I know she's here, somewhere. I can sense it. Day 2. Gave me the slip. She's cunning. Hunter and hunted, round and round in circles. It's a game, a dance, a ritual. I wouldn't be the same without it. Day 4. Tracks head to the ruins. She might be resting. I need an element of surprise. Leave everything unnecessary behind. Go in light and quick. She's not going to get away. Not this time. But that was right there in the background. That was I don't know. I wonder if that was a dialogue. That could have been a journal from the same person who found the Fade Rift woman that clearly got them killed, which would be an interesting touch. That that person got corrupted after all the hunt. Could have been a lust demon, perhaps. Josephine completed her mission there, though, so like when I get back, that's more reason to go back, because I can go handle. I can talk to Cassandra, and I can send Josephine on a new mission, or I can pursue the next mission after Josephine's has been completed, I mean. So what are we going to fight here? Alright, we have to do a big fight. Despair Demon. I'm probably going to want to target him first, because Despair Demons are dicks. Wraith. Yeah, we're going to... Everybody in the party single target that Despair Demon, because fuck those guys. We only have one barrier, and it's already been used, so Vasti's going to have to do without. So just use everything I can do to keep my guard up. Despair Demon, come back here. You may be level 19, but you're still squishy as shit. Now shield bash, you're down. Alright. Okay, I need to go invincible for a second here, because I'm taking so much damage right here. Haha. That's so... God, champions are so awesome. So I went basically invincible for a little while, but it's not just that I become invincible. Every hit that hits me while I have Living Fortress activated generates guard for me. So now I went from being one hit from dying to regenerating all of my hit points in a few seconds. Like it's no big deal. That also means that that's actually something I didn't really think about that when I made the armor he has, or shield, or whatever the thing is that I gave, where he has a chance of doing Living Fortress. That means he has a chance of generating a ton of guard for free, just at random. So Cassandra, is your Dispel used? She used her Dispel. Okay, so only Solus can use his? Yep, he didn't use his. I don't know if Solus even is allowed to use his. I might still have it deactivated because I want it to be ready when I want it to be. So that's those two down. I'm gonna say, Sarah, you back off, because you're too close to the combat. Solus, you also back off, but just in a different location in case of AoE. And we're gonna have we're gonna make a mess. All right, what do we have over here? Hey, oh, it's another Despair Demon. Everybody, let's see. There's one Despair Demon there. Are there more? Oh, there's two. Oh God, is it a whole wave of Despair Demons? In this case, I'm gonna say everybody target the Wraith as a starter, just because when the Wraith goes down, that's the fastest way of removing a damage source at this point. I did Living Fortress to keep myself from taking too much damage during this phase. I'm going to say, let's do the thing that makes this guy take extra damage, but he also deals more damage, so I'm going to have everybody single target him down. And just for funsies, let's have a Antivan Fire. Why not? It's fun to blow things up. How do you like fire, buddy? You like fire? Oh, he left the fire. I guess I should have seen that coming. He does just casually run out of... If he casually just has crazy mobility all the time, I don't know why I expected him to not just run out of the zone. I don't know. Oh, that was a bad use of Payback Strike. He has not been hitting me. Come on, come get me, buddy. Come hurt me so I have an excuse to activate Living Fortress and go back to not taking damage anyway. Despair Demons are awkward when you're playing as melee dudes, because they like to just run around like crazy, so you spend most of the fight chasing them. Thankfully, if you're spending most of the fight chasing them, that just means they're going down too fast, which means that your party's doing great anyway, so it's fine. How are we doing on potions? 9 out of 12. So, alright, so we had to use 3 of them up. I saw that coming. If you're going to fight Despair Demons in any large number, you're just going to take a lot of damage without being able to do much about it, just because they're difficult to control and do a lot of damage. They're kind of the worst. I think that they might be the single most dangerous demon in this game, actually. Although we did have that, there was that one new demon we fought like exactly one time and never again. Exhuming bodies by moonlight. Oh, that's a great way to start a story. My tenure as ambassador to the Navarian court began, appropriately enough, with a death. I arrived to find my predecessor and intended mentor, Cephas Carantor, had died in his sleep. Not unexpected given his age. Instead of a cremation, the Mortalitasi were summoned for him. Those grey-robed mages who seemed to be everywhere in the palace. I was warned of the Mortalitasi in Starkhaven. Some cautioned me about their political prowess, learned from sitting at a king's feet for generations. Others talked about the Mortalitasi like they were ghoulish surgeons in leather aprons, exhuming bodies by moonlight in their grand necropolis. The Mortalitasi who spoke to me was a polite, tawny-haired woman who smelled strongly of soap. She explained that Carantor had earned the honor of being preserved and interred in the necropolis. It seemed a barbaric practice, but I knew the demanding of a cremation would have made me, and more importantly, Starkhaven, lose face in Navarra. Instead, my thanks seemed to please her. She described some of their rites, though she wouldn't speak of the greater mysteries. Even a glimpse into their arts put my hair on end. But I held my peace. The Mortalitasi are linked to the throne by blood. If I die in my office like Carantor, my body will be in their hands. In a land where death and politics are entwined, one should be polite. Galen Vedas, Starkhaven Ambassador to Navarra. 9-6 Dragon. It's funny, a pretty memorable thread I saw on the subreddit for this game was titled it was titled where do you think the Dragon Age 4 should be located, and why is it Tevinter? This is being like a self-answering question of like, hey, where should the next Dragon Age game be? No, Jake, just kidding. We all know the answer is Tevinter. So why is it Tevinter? But honestly, the more I hear about Navarra, the more I want to spend some time around there. Although I also wouldn't mind spending more time around the Qunari too, and more just. Basically, I'd like to have a game that spends more time in various elements of the free marches, because they're such colorful, interesting-sounding regions, and we only get aside from the game in Kirkwall, we don't really get a lot of looks at them. Frankly, though, and I would like more games like Dragon Age 2. I like one of my problems with fantasy games, and I probably said this before because it's a genre I play nonstop on this channel. Is that every single game always has to be about saving the world from a great evil that's going to destroy everything. And while that makes it gives you sufficient stakes, I guess, but at the same time, find the hunter. Okay, this must have been the person we found the notes from earlier. But like, save the world over and over again. Like, it's a good way to have high stakes, but it's also kind of lazy a way of having high stakes, because it's like, yeah, what's the biggest threat we can have? The world! And at some point, it loses interest. It gets repetitive. I found Dragon Age 2 interesting. People complain about repeating the environments and a few other shortcomings, but I love the fact that the game's storyline was just about the trials and tribulations of various problems that befall this one town over the course of time. That was a cool way of approaching things. I'd like to see more stuff like that. The Hunt. A note ripped to bits by an angry hand. Pieced together, it reads, "Leave me alone, or I swear I'll kill you." We completed it. Is that just the hunter being mad at us for walking around? He thinks we're stalking him? I didn't mean to. I was just following the blinky bits on my map. That's what I do in this game when I'm monologuing. Loot this. Oh, there's a fire over here. Is this gonna be the guy? Is he gonna be mad at me for looking over here? What's this? Oh, money. I'm an asshole. Look, there's a pile of money next to a campfire that's still warm. I better take it all. A journal left open. Something's wrong. Bryce has been away 3 days. He should be back from the hunt by now. The river froze overnight. It's so cold. I worry he's lost, or worse. I have a terrible feeling all this has something to do with him touching that strange red crystal. He said he could hear it humming. Crystals don't hum. I have to go look for him. Bryce, if you see this and I'm gone, wait for me. I won't be long. Wow, they could be out there right now. And I have not seen them, so they's probably dead. Although maybe we'll encounter them in our journey still. So we explored one little subsection of the map here. There's more to do, but before I do that, I think I'm going to head back to town to talk to Cassandra about the progression in her story. I'm also going to really quickly here, Cassandra and Sarah both leveled up. There's a dagger tree. I don't really use the dagger tree. I have her entire potion tree is filled in except for the Flask of Frost upgrade. I don't even have Flask of Frost mapped to the controls though. Like, at some point there's just too many skills, and that one's just kind of odd man out at some point. Because I like fire and lightning in particular. So it's all about what skill do I want at this point. Basically, I'm going to go for an upgrade. Leaping Shot, I like that skill. Giving a damage bonus, okay. Because buying new skills, I just don't have spaces for them at this point. So it's good to just upgrade ones I have instead. Cassandra, you're defensive. In more ways than one. So, pretty much have your Templar tree filled in. What's this one? Lights in the Shadow. Attacking enemies while they're affected by Blessed Blades reduces the cooldown times of Spell Perch and Wrath of Haven. Do I even have Blessed Blades? I don't even have it mapped. I don't know if the AI can use skills. Can the AI use skills that are not currently mapped? I don't know. I currently have Payback Strike map. Let's look at what Blessed Blades does. I might be able to replace it. You rally all your allies nearby allies to fight with greater strength, especially when facing demons. 15% damage bonus. 10. That's it. It's just a bonus damage. Okay. And attacking enemies while you're affected, it reduces the cooldown times of Spell Portion Wrath of Heaven. Not super interesting, although a damage bonus is good, I guess. I can see why it's not really mapped to my skills, though. I wonder if AI characters can use skills that you don't currently have mapped to things. I'm going to go for just a basic upgrade. Let's just go for Untouchable Defense. Bonus to Maximum Guard. Seems like a reasonable move for a tanky type character. I'm actually a little surprised she doesn't have it already. Alright, back to town with us. Hey Cassandra, you're welcome.
Hello again.
Really? Nothing. Not even a little bit of acknowledgement of the fact that I just helped you hunt down people at 5 different corners of the earth for your vendetta. Oh, Dragon Age. Sometimes you just have they have really weird implementation of the side quests. Like major story quests packed with cutscenes and dialogue seem to happen out of nowhere sometimes with your companions. Meanwhile, there's like massive quests you can do for them that just where nothing happens sometimes. Oh well.
Do you have any advice for me?
We must keep an eye on the College of Clerics. The moment they elect a divine, things could change quickly.
Well, I will keep an eye on them. You're gonna be that cleric. I mean, that divine. Probably. Diverting soldiers in the Frostbacks. Correspondence sent by messenger bird to Commander Cullen. From Sister Paulette. Your help arrived just in time. My sisters and I have seen the soldiers safely to Ferelden. I cannot express what this means to all of us. Maker's blessing upon you and our rescuers. From Lieutenant Kestrel. Commander, we've lost the Red Templars. Trail. Awaiting further orders. So, new operation unlocked. Thanks from a Chantry sister. Alright, well let's follow up on that then. You're welcome. Inquisitor Adar, you may not remember me. I stayed at Skyhold for a time and later accompanied some injured soldiers to Ferelden. Our journey was more perilous than expected, and I only lived to write this thanks to the aid of the I only lived to write this thanks to the aid of the Inquisition. I have little to offer, but I may help the Inquisition in some way. If I may help the Inquisition in some way, you have only to ask. Sister Paulette. Cullen says send some soldiers in Crestwood. Oh. Some soldiers in Crestwood wish to establish a place of prayer at the keep. Sister Paulette could assist. Liliana. Sister Paulette showed bravery and kindness in staying with the injured soldiers. She has already done more than she was asked. Let her remain with her fellow sisters in peace. Josephine. I could arrange to transfer Sister Paulette to the Chantry in Denerim. Having a reliable ally in the capital's Chantry could prove valuable. Let's see. So where is she right now? Is having her in Crestwood. Is having her establish a place of Crestwood? I don't know. It makes sense. I think I will send her to help pray with the soldiers. It makes sense that she she's not gonna just like, oh well, no that problem's taken care of. I'm just gonna sit around and do nothing all the time. Like no, she has a calling to help with her religious order, so it makes sense to have her help the soldiers with praying. As opposed to ripping her, I'm not going to quite like rip her out of her life to a completely different place just for the purpose of having a political power, but have her, her doing what's basically her job anyway seems like a reasonable move.
Inquisitor.
I mean, she's putting herself out there, right? I figure, maybe. Anyway, I'll follow up on the other ones later. At this point, I can just do them one at a time because it means I'll always have a choice between all 3 of my potential characters instead of having to. An offer from the Imperial Army. Apparently that's a Cullen-only mission, so good to know. Oh, I can send people to get resources from Priest de Leon. Why not? Herbs and metals and herbs, whatever's safe to collect. Josephine seems to always do whatever's the easiest, whereas like, I guess Cullen focuses on metals, Liliana focuses on herbs, I think, and Josephine just kind of picks up whatever she feels like, it seems like. So I just kind of order them around to pick things up whenever someone's on a mission. This is a codex entry I could have found in Haven, but I missed, so I'm reading it at the store in Val Royale. And it seems kind of important, too. Andraste, Bride of the Maker. There was once a tiny fishing village on the waking sea that was set upon by the Tevinter Imperium, which enslaved the villagers to be sold in the markets of Minrathous, leaving behind only the old and the infirm. One of the captives was the child Andraste. She was raised in slavery in a foreign land. She escaped, then made the long and treacherous journey back to her homeland alone. She rose from nothing to be the wife of an Alamari warlord. Each day she sang to the gods, asking them to help her people who remained slaves in Tevinter. The false gods of the mountains and the winds did not answer her, but the true God did. The Maker spoke. He showed her all the works of his hands, the Fade, the world, and all the creatures therein. He showed her how men had forgotten him, lavishing devotion upon mute idols and demons, and how he had left them to their fate. But her voice had reached him, and so captivated him that he offered her a place at his side, that she might rule all of creation. But Andraste would not forsake her people. She begged the Maker to return, to save his children from the cruelty of the Imperium. Reluctantly, the Maker agreed to give man another chance. Andraste went back to her husband, Mafreth, and told him all that the Maker had revealed to her. Together they rallied the Alamari and marched forth against the mage lords of the Imperium, and the Maker was with them. The Maker's sword was creation itself, fire and flood, famine and earthquake. Everywhere they went, Andraste sang to the people of the Maker, and they heard her. The ranks of Andraste's followers grew until they were a vast tide watching over the Imperium, and when Mafreth saw that the people loved Andraste and not him, a worm grew within his heart, gnawing at it. At last, the armies of Andraste and Mafreth stood before the very gates of Minrathous, but Andraste was not with them, for Mafreth had schemed in secret to hand Andraste over to the Tevinter. For this the Archon would give Mafreth all the lands to the south of the waking sea. And so, before all the armies of the Almari and of Tevinter, Andraste was tied to a stake and burned, while her earthly husband turned his armies aside and did nothing, for his heart had been devoured. But as he watched the pyre, the Archon softened. He took pity on Andraste and drew his sword and granted her the mercy of a quick death. The Maker wept for his beloved, cursed Mafreth, cursed mankind for their betrayal, and turned once again from creation, taking only Andraste with him. And Our Lady sits there at his side, where she still urges him to take pity on his children. From the Sermons of Justinia II.